So the collection type in the Python world that you're most likely going to use the most is going to be a list. And basically what the list is you're going to use as square brackets, and then this is able to contain multiple values. So those values can be any data type, they can be strings, they can be floats, they can be ints, they can also be other collections, so they can be additional lists, they can be dictionaries, they can be sets, and they can be tuples. Basically, this is one variable that is able to store multiple values. Now, with lists, basically they are indexed. So the first item in the list is going to be at index 0. The second item will be at index 1. The third item will be at index 2, so on and so forth. So that's an important thing to remember. These are mutable, so basically you can modify the value at that index. So if the name is currently Bob and it should be Bobby, you are able to change that. You are able to sort the list. So if you want to alphabetically sort the list for some reason, you can do that, or reverse sort it, that type of thing. And so this is what we're looking at when we're looking at lists. So here's an example of a simple list. So my underscore list equals, and again, it's going to be square brackets. So lists are square brackets. At index 0 is a string for the name Bob. At index 1 is 17. So if there is just a number, you don't need single or double quotation marks. At index 2, so 0, 1, 2 is going to be an additional list. So at index 0 of this list is 12, and at index 1 of this list is 120. And then the final value here is we have a Boolean for true. You can have true or false. Basically, we can simply print out the list. So if we want to print out the entire list, you simply do print my list, and we'll print out the list with the square brackets and everything, so you know what's going on. If you want to print out a specific value from the list, you do my list, square bracket, and then the index, right? So index 0, index 1. So if we say print my list at index 1, that's going to print out 17. Now we have what's called a nested list. So this is a list, 12 and 120 is a list within the my list. You can access the second value here, so index 0 and index 1. How you do that is my list at index 2, index 0, 1, 2. At index 2, I want to print out the value for index 1, 0, 1. So that is then going to print out 120. If we then go to run this, again, we can see we print out the entire list here. We go to print out for index 1 here is 17. And then we go to print out index 1 in index 2. So we go 0, 1, 2. And then we go to index 1. That is what then prints out at 120 here. And this basically gives you the idea of what the list looks like and how you're able to access different values in that list. Now again, it's important to remember that lists are mutable, which means you're able to modify them. So we have the list, as we had before, and the first value here is Bob, right? So Bob, 17, so on and so forth. So let's say we want to change Bob. We don't want it to be Bob, we want it to be Tim. All we do here is we say my list at index 0 equals Tim. That's all you do to be able to modify that value. So we create the list here, we print out my list, so we see what that looks like. We modify index 0 to be Tim, and then we print out the new value. When we do that, again, it's pretty simple. The first one says Bob 17, so on and so forth. The second one says Tim 17, so on and so forth. So that's all you need to do to change a value at an index in a list. Now, what if you want to add a value to a list? Let's say you're processing information. Every time something is true, you want to take that value and you want to add it to a list. Let's say you're looking for something like email addresses. So you're looking at this big document. Every time your Python script finds an email address, you want to add it to a list so that you can do something with it later. All you're going to need for that is the append method. So the append method adds to the end of the list. So here we have our list as we've had it before, and we will print it out just to show you what it looks like. We're going to do my list dot append, and we're going to append with the string of Sue. So we're going to add Sue to the end of this list. We're then simply going to print out the new version of list, and we'll see that Sue is at the end. When we go to run it, we can see that we have Bob 17, so on and so forth, true. And then down here we have Bob 17, and Sue is now at the end. So we have added the Sue value to this particular list. So all you need to do to add to the end of a list is you're going to use this append method with whatever the value is that you want to append to the list. So with append, you're going to add a value to the end of the list. What if you want to add a value to a specific index? It's important to understand this does not mean change the value at a certain index. For whatever reason, you want to just slot a new value in and basically push everybody else down the line. In order to do that, use the insert method. So we have the, basically what we've had before as far as the list is concerned. Then we have mylist.insert. We say what index we want to insert the value into. So 0, 1. So where 17 currently is, we want to insert Sue and then move everything down by one index value. And then we print out the new value here. When we go to run this, again, all pretty simple. So we have the we have the list as we've had before, and now we see Bob, Sue is at index 1, 17 is at index 2, so on and so forth. So we've now inserted Sue at this particular index value. Now, what if you want to delete a value at an index entirely? So you don't want it to simply be blank, you just want it to go away for some reason, then you will use pop. So what pop does is it basically just deletes the value at the index and everything shifts down. So you use my list, again the list that we've had, dot pop, and then you put in the index value you want gone. So we've decided Bob is gone, we don't want Bob anymore, so we're going to pop 0, so Bob will be gone from this particular list. When we go to run this, again, we can see we have the list as we had it before, and now the list at index 0 is 17. Basically, Bob got popped out of the way, and then everything shifted down, in the index order for the list. Now again, with lists, you can sort them. So you can sort them in alphabetical order or reverse alphabetical order. You have two methods. You have sort, or you simply have reverse. So we have a new list here. Again, imagine these are students. We have Phil, we have Bob, we have Sue, and we have Frank. So obviously they are not in an alphabetical order. We're going to print that value out here. Then we're going to do mylist.sort. And so what this will do is it'll sort it alphabetically, and then we're going to print out the results. We're going to do mylist.reverse. It's going to sort reverse alphabetically, and then it will print out the results. All relatively simple. We go to run the script, and so we can see initially Phil, Bob, Sue, and Frank. We sort, so we sort Bob, Frank, Phil, and Sue, and then we reverse, so reverse sort Sue, Phil, Frank, and Bob. And so that is how you're able to sort lists. And so if you have things like numbers that you might need to sort, or again, things like names that you need to sort, these are the methods that you would use. Now, if you need to iterate through a list, you can use a for loop. So basically you do a for x, so the x can be whatever variable name you want. So for variable name in my list, then you're going to do something. So here, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be using an F string. We're going to say name colon space, squiggle bracket x, squiggle bracket, so it'll say name colon space, and it'll say Phil, Bob, Sue, and Frank. And so with this for loop, that is how you're able to iterate through a list. So all we're going to do here is we simply run this. And as you can see, for each value in the list, it prints out name Phil, name Bob, name Sue, and name Frank. Obviously, you can have if-else statements. You can make this much more complicated, but this is the simple way for how you're able to iterate through a list using a for loop, and we are going to have another session on for loops in the future. So that's a basic idea of what a list data type is in the Python world. I showed you a number of different methods here, but there are additional methods within the Python language. On your little class notes here, you will see some more of these. Again, we have the append, as I showed you. There's also a method for extending. There's a method for clearing. There's a method for counting. And if you go out there and do some Google searches and play around, you might see some other methods out there that that might be useful for when you're dealing with lists. But what I showed you today is the basic idea of how you'll be using lists, and it is a data type you'll be using a lot in the Python world.